Hello, everyone. Reed Wallach, your host of the Early Read podcast and a Rithmm partner, here to get you ready for the national championship game between Ohio State and Notre Dame, rematch from last season's barn burner in South Bend. I'm going to walk you through some key numbers, what my Rithmm model projects, the pressure run model that I've been going through weekly here on the Rithmm YouTube page, and get you ready to bet on the national championship. So let's dive into the model, and you'll see here not much. You see the caution flag is up, means, look, you can still bet on this. I'm going to walk you through why I like a particular side in this game, but my model pretty much on market here has Notre Dame plus 8.7. Notre Dame's 8.5-point dog in the market, so it makes a lot of sense there. Total 45.9 projected from my pressure run model, under 45.5. So let's now dive in a little bit further into the game and see if we can maybe glean some stuff using the research tab here over on Rithmm. So I come over here, and as you can see, a ton of different numbers can be used here. This, as of now, when you click on it first, you see power conference filter. Notre Dame is not a power conference team. They're an independent, so I'm going to add them to the filter here, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. All right, so let's walk through a few key parts of the pressure run model, things that I think are important to handicapping this game, and we could see why I land on a particular side. So let's go over really quick. So CQBR, got Will Howard playing at a high level. Riley Leonard for Notre Dame, doing a lot with his legs. This is a pretty unheralded group of wide receivers for Notre Dame. Clutch last week in the Orange Bowl against Penn State. But you see here, Ohio State, second in QBR with Will Howard. This passing game is elite. You got to go a little bit further down to find Notre Dame, 29th when you combine them with the Power 4 teams. This is a Notre Dame team that wants to make their hay on the ground using Riley Leonard in the 11-man run game where he's kind of keeping it. Jeremiah Love looked pretty spry in limited reps. Maybe that could be something. But the issue is when you go over to the defensive line, look at tackles for loss here. You go to the top, see Ohio State in 8th. If you want a comparison's sake, you're going to find Notre Dame closer to the bottom of the half. And this is about a 70-team database, 46th in terms of tackles for loss per game. Same can be said for hits and quarterback pressures. Go to the top here for quarterback hits. What do you know? Ohio State is third in this metric. Scroll closer to the middle of the pack, 21st, you got Notre Dame. So you're starting to see the difference here and why there is more than a touchdown separating these two on the point spread between Ohio State and Notre Dame. So again, who's going to have the edge here? Probably be Ohio State. They're going to dictate what they want to do. They have skill position advantages all over. They look spry and healthy with Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson in the run game. Notre Dame, they like to incorporate Riley Leonard a lot. I expect Leonard to really be forcing the issue with his legs because, again, we bring up that QBR difference there. This Notre Dame passing game, outside the top 40 in EPA per pass, bottom half of the country in terms of power 4 teams, in terms of QBR, quarterback rating. You go here, look, run game, you're going to find Ohio State, unsurprisingly, at the time. So is Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 5th in yards per game on the ground. Ohio State, a little bit closer to the average, but when you factor in, okay, so 32nd in terms of yards per game, but that also needs to factor in the volume in which they're running the ball. Go over the way to the top, you scroll down, Ohio State rushing attempts. See Notre Dame's up there. This is an elite running team, but Ohio State 50th amongst Power 4 teams in rushing attempts. This team likes to attack through the air. Notre Dame, you go through who they've played this postseason. An Indiana team that I think we all could agree has a limited ceiling compared to Ohio State. Georgia, backup quarterback in. And then Penn State, where Drew Aller made some plays to Tyler Warren, but 0 catches for wide receivers on the Penn State side in the Orange Bowl. You got Jeremiah Smith, you got Emeka Egbuka, Cardinal Tate, you got Travion Henderson out of the backfield. This will not be the case when we get to the national championship game. Notre Dame is going to have to worry about not just the run game. They're going to have to worry about the passing game as well with a bunch of different skill position players there. So there's a reason why Ohio State, like I just showed, 2nd in QBR. There's a reason why their yards per game on the ground is not as high, because they can attack through the air. Notre Dame, kind of a one-trick pony here. And you go through now Ohio State's defensive metrics. This team is top 5 in EPA per rush, yards per carry, things like that. Those are numbers that are widely available and show that Ohio State kind of has Notre Dame covered in all these things. And while Notre Dame deserves a lot of credit for getting to the national championship game, They did take the road a little easier than Ohio State, who beat an SEC team in Tennessee handily, beat an undefeated Oregon team in the Rose Bowl, and then dispose of Texas, who was able to do a lot of different things that Notre Dame isn't really capable of. Quinn Ewers sacked a handful of times. The run game really shaky for most of the game. Bottom 20 percentile EPA per play outing from the Longhorns in the Cotton Bowl. I just don't think Notre Dame has the counters here that Ohio State does. So I think Ohio State's going to win this one pretty handedly. I know my Rithmm model closer to market. I actually lean towards the Ohio State side. If it's anything, it's Buckeyes or pass. We've been waiting all year for a team to truly emerge and be the national championship favorite. We have it with Ohio State. Usually when we get to these national championship games, and there is a bit of a difference here, the favorite has shown they have the capability to separate. And I think Ohio State does just that. And they win the national championship by double digits. They cover this 8.5 spread. There's my final play for the 2024 season. Thank you for watching along here on Rithmm. Thank you for listening to the podcast, The Early Read. Enjoy the national championship game, and we'll talk soon.